Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday night Anamkara meditation program. With all my heart and with all my love, I welcome you to our program this evening. Here we get together right after Valentine's Day. So, celebrating love. And, that is the heart essence of all the practices. Without love, any practice is just dry as dust. So we have to really cultivate that loving presence that we bring to the practices. It's an interesting phenomenon because, in a sense, it takes a mind, right? The mind, this instrument for knowing what it is to be separate, knowing what it is to be limited, knowing what it is not to be loved. The self, the divine, the infinite is love. Everything from the Christian tradition, the Bible saying, God is love. The Eastern traditions, the very essence, the very nature of the infinite, the divine, is love. So why don't we know that? Why don't we know that right here, right now? Why don't we know that every moment? That's the question that all sadhana practices are aimed at answering. It's because we're identified with the mind. We're identified with this thing that cuts us off from source. So all the practices, chants, mantras, sitting, meditating, contemplating, serving others, it's all about love. It's all about knowing that we are in a continuous stream of love. But to know that, we have to both transform the mind and know who we are beyond the mind, free of the mind. That's what all our practices are aimed at, taking us to that place of absolute freedom where we know the infinitude, the boundless nature of love, of compassion, of patience, of wisdom, of equanimity, that are our true essential nature. That's why we do the practices. It's not just to give the mind something else to do. It's really to get the mind out of the way. So tonight we're going to be talking more about that and going into that and exploring that some. And then we'll be chanting and we'll be meditating. But I wanted to start out with, sharing some writings that came out in this first volume, Kali's Bazaar, collection of gifts from the divine, from the Devi that come in meditation. It was published in 2012. This first one is called Choose Love. Now, if you take what the Buddha and Christ said, and all the great yogis, saints and sages, mystics and lovers of God, it can be reduced to two words. Choose love. There's nothing higher than love, nothing purer, nothing more selfless, nothing more powerful. And it's present in every moment. Choose love in all times, in all places. Choose love, for love has already chosen you. Already chosen you. We have to understand what that means. It means that we live in the divine embrace. Love has chosen you through all your births. All forms you've ever taken have been born of that love, sustained by that love, dissolved by that love. That's what this means. It's such an urgent message because we're living in a world where people are turning more and more to anger and hate out of ignorance, out of not knowing this level of truth. This is what sets one free. This is what sets us free to be compassionate, kind, patient, and loving with others. Because we know that's our nature and that's their nature. It's the nature of all that is. So we say, choose love. we're also talking about choosing a way of seeing. Seeing through the eyes of love. See through the eyes of love. Remember what it is to do that. When you look at a loved one and you're looking through the eyes of love, you see their beauty. You see their gifts. Huh? Your heart opens. You want to nurture. You want to give. Selflessness. That's a natural part of love. So the practices are really aimed at drawing us to the heart essence of who we are. So we live that into the world. So cultivating love, if we use that as a principle, a guiding light to illumine what's the nature of each one of our practices that we do, whether it's getting up in the morning, preparing for the day. How do we cultivate love and bring that into every practice, mundane or quote-unquote spiritual? There are no differences. So we're coming back to that, coming back to the truth. This one is called One Heart. The weary soul, tired from the weight of masks worn through the day to fend off assaults from other weary souls, too tired to remember why they are here, too tired to remember what they know, too tired to see beyond the pain. All he seeks is to shed the masks, the armor, the clothes of the day. Oh, a bottle of wine and all falls away. A respite found in the depths of sleep lasts too briefly. The body awakens, puts on the masks, puts on the clothes, puts on the dense cloaks, burying a light ever deeper. His bright armor is no substitute. Bracing himself, he returns to the world unprepared for the encounter, unprepared for this sudden remembering, unprepared for the beloved. Stripping away layer after layer till the naked heart quivers in love. The soul breathes as if for the first time, breathes in the beloved, merges in the beloved, finally comes to rest in the beloved, inhaled by her. Not even a shadow of wanting can slip within the embrace of the beloved. Do you remember? Do you remember wanting to breathe like that? One breath, one heart. Hafiz knew what it is to be the heart. Clothes no longer fit. Masks keep falling off or sit ridiculously askew. Armor hurts. He wanders the world crying out the name of his beloved, seeking the nectar of love, knowing nothing else will satisfy his thirst, lost in a world desperately believing it can wear the perfect mask and hide behind the perfect shield and fill the inner void by consuming everything in sight. Clothed in ignorance, the world destroys itself. Oh, better to live with the pain of longing for the beloved, her touch, her breath, her taste, her scent, her all-embracing love, than to be lost again in such delusion. Your soul knows the truth of who you are and what you long for. Never be content with shadows. Never. This is divine discontent. This is part of what it is to awaken to what the nature of the ordinary mind and the ordinary world are. They will not fulfill the soul. They will not fulfill that deep longing. Seekers, you know that. So you do the practices. You look beyond. You look beyond the mind. You seek to walk a higher vision, higher experience of yourself and others into this troubled world. This is what it is to choose love, to see through the eyes of love, to see our own longing for that sublime love. It goes so far beyond the sentiments, however beautiful they are, that we exchange with others. This is the love of the infinite, embracing all that is, unconditionally. We get a taste of that in our relationships. To see another through the eyes of love and accept them fully, embrace them fully, give them kindness and patience. But the poor ego mind, even with that, it struggles. It gets irritable. It gets annoyed. It forgets that it even loves our loved ones. It's so unsteady. It's so shallow. It's such a leaky vessel. It can't even hold love. So we do practices that also strengthen the mind, steady the mind. Not enough to just have a transcendent experience and then nothing holds it. It all leaks away. It's gone. So we do the practices. Mantra is a throb of love. Mantra is the infinite. It's love in sound form, in vibratory form, in word form. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Kalima. Sent into this level of reality to give us a handle on the infinite. Give us a way to take hold of the mantra, disappear in the mantra. Then you disappear into love, into boundless awareness, suffused with love, embracing all, seeing all, transforming your vision. The ordinary mind loses it. The ordinary mind makes everything ordinary. Even love, even the love we have for the most dear of those in our lives. It loses it. What a leaky vessel. So we do the practices to plug the leaks. The mind is practicing differences, separation. It practices, meaning it does it repeatedly, which we know anything you do repeatedly is more likely to happen and more likely to happen more easily. That's what repetition does neurophysiologically, does characterologically. So the mind, all day long, practicing ignorance. That's why we have to counter it all day long with real practices. Keep coming back to mantra. Keep coming back to breath. Keep coming back to remembrance. Surround yourself with what invokes remembrance. It might be a yantra, it might be a tanka, might be a statue, might be a picture, might be anything. So we surround ourselves with reminders because we know the mind is going to keep forgetting. And then at last, we discover that, we can move beyond the mind and all it's forgetting. That's a state of meditation. That's why in meditation, we practice silence. Noticing the silence that's already there. We don't want the mind fighting itself, the mind trying to beat itself into silence. That's very noisy. Now we just keep shifting our awareness away from content. Because where is the content of the mind? Oh, it's held in the infinite spaciousness of being. It's held in the light of awareness. It's held in what this luminous awareness, suffused with love, reveals. That's the refuge of meditation. That's living meditation. Meditation is a state fully present here and now, always. It's not one of the limited states like the waking dream or deep sleep. It's continuous. It's all about stillness, this life, this death, this moment arising, this moment swallowed by Kali Ma. The ever-present stillness of being, infinite, spacious, eternally free. Kali's beloved, Lord Shiva, you and me. Move with that awareness throughout the day, through periods of silence, meditation, and chanting, through walking, eating, speaking, and working. All movement arises out of stillness. Return to stillness over and over and over. Watch the mind. See how it craves movement, how it begs attention to follow its desires and attachments. See how letting go of these immediately opens the experience of spaciousness, of bare awareness. The distant movements of thoughts and perceptions, darting about like fireflies in the night sky. That's what you see. Every moment, my dear one, is an opportunity to look beyond the movements of mind which delude you into feeling you are that tiny, ephemeral collection of fireflies. Know the infinite expanse of the sky of awareness. Become a sky dancer. Know you are Shiva, you are Buddha. Om Tat Sat. This is the truth, the eternal truth, the truth that underlies all the great mystical traditions. This pure, boundless expanse of awareness, fully present here and now. It's only because our attention is locked into the content of mind, which includes the experience of a body, the stories and narratives we tell ourselves, the interpretations the mind is continuously delivering, its endless commentary throughout your day. That's how it asserts its continued existence. It's desperate to assert that. I'm real. See, I'm thinking, I'm real. No. We shift our attention We shift our awareness to the luminous one, illuminating all that content. We don't have to shut it up. We don't have to murder it. We don't have to kill the mind. Much harder. Detach. Discover the spaciousness, the infinitude of awareness within which thoughts, feelings, memories, sensations, fantasies about the future, fantasies about the past, they're all arising and subsiding within this infinite expanse of awareness. Right here, right now. That awareness suffused with love. See, the mind thinks there's awareness and there's love, because the mind's experience of limited awareness and limited love looks like separate things. Over the infinite one, awareness is love. Knowing is knowing through loving embrace, unity with all. Beyond anything the mind can even conceive of, even imagine. So in the end, all mystics fall silent. Silence. The true language of knowing. The true language of love. The silence that absorbs the mind in a loving embrace so that it dissolves. This is what we're invited to know. It's not the knowing of the mind. Such a puny little instrument. We have to step away from the mind to truly know. It's grasping, clinging, conceptualizing nature. Well, it can fill every moment of the day, the night. We have to practice the stillness. We have to practice the shifting awareness. Shifting to notice the stillness, the spaciousness that surrounds every thought. Every thought arises out of stillness, dissolves into stillness. Every experience arises out of stillness, dissolves into stillness. The spaciousness of awareness, of being, holds it all. That's what we shift our attention to. The mind constantly sees itself as becoming something, becoming a thought, becoming a feeling, through identification. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm a this, I'm a that. That's it becoming. As soon as we're born, somebody's telling us what we're going to become. Our parents. What are you going to become? What are you allowed to become? What roles are you allowed to play? You're a man, you can only become this. You're a woman, you can only become that. You don't fit into that binary category? No, we don't know what to do. All this craziness that the mind gives birth to. When we step back, when we see the infinitude, when we see the expanse, when we see the creative power of the one, when we see the beloved who gives birth to all that is, then it all changes. Oh, my beloved, what will you become when you are through becoming me? Infinite waves arise and subside in the infinite ocean of your sweet being, delighting in every form you take, and in turn, dissolving each in your loving embrace. All cravings are but one longing for the sublime joy of coming to rest in you. By your grace, all the streams and rivers of our desires, set in motion by you, flow irresistibly into you. Who can know your delight without becoming you? We come to know the beloved by returning to that. Then knowing that union, merging back the little mind, the little wave that appeared in the ocean of the infinite, dissolving back into the ocean. That's meditation practice. The state of meditation is the state of the ocean, waves and all. Suffused, ever knowing. So how do we approach meditation? With that attitude. Every day, every moment. To see that gift. This precious life. This precious human birth. Affording us the opportunity to know revelation in the moment. The revelation of the infinite, the divine, as our own self. Seeing it in the world, seeing it in loved ones, seeing it in enemies. All of it dissolves. That's what love does. Dissolves differences. What fun. Oh, my beloved, what fun. Pretending there's a we when we both know there isn't even a me. This is the play. The play as if there's two when there's only one. But it's only a play when you know that. Otherwise, we're in the drama. We're the character playing the suffering one, just bound by ignorance. Ignorance is a mask we put on to see differences where there are none. To see separation where there's none. But that, the suffering it gives birth to. The wars, the famines, everything, the conflicts, the shootings. We're capable of so much more. We're capable of boundless love, boundless knowing. Erasing all differences. The mind clings to differences because it doesn't know the truth. It puffs up its identity by becoming identified with this or that. Puffs up even more, becoming identified with a group, an organization, a party, a nation. So empty. So painful. That's what we're freeing ourselves of through the practices. The pain of delusion. Delusion is an overlay. The fundamental reality is unity, is oneness. The fundamental quality of relating to that is love. Choose love. The mind creates complexities, thinks it has to have complex practices, complex philosophies, complex stages, all these different things. All because that keeps it alive. That keeps the illusion of its importance going. It dissolves it all. How complex is stillness? How complex is silence? How complex is spaciousness of being? The sky reveals the truth to us every day. Infinite spaciousness holds planets, stars, galaxies, the infinitude. The infinite one holds all of that like a speck of sand. That's how grand you truly are. That's what you sacrificed to put on the cloaks, the masks, the illusions of self. I went to the Master simply to be free. She opened my heart, tore off the veil, leaving no bonds holding anything to this phantom me. Now, this puppet dances on. Who holds the strings? Mother of time, devourer of now. She delights in playing the I she wanted me to be. It's all her. The entire creation. Every moment. Everything. Removing the veil. Removing the power of concealment. She uses the power of revelation to reveal what always has been. Was never broken, never divided, never lost, always present. Oh, Mata Kali, devourer of now. All time disappears into that vast darkness of Ma Kali, who births each moment and all it holds, and swallows it again. What a mystery. So far beyond the mind. But not beyond knowing. But not mental knowing. Not mind knowing. To know that, we have to become that. And the great Christian mystic Meister Eckhart said, the only way to know God is to become God. That's what our practices are aimed at. Releasing the identification with limited mind. To know it's already present. Our universal identity, untouched, unsullied, free of all pain, boundlessly, rapturously ecstatic, boundlessly loving. It is all. It doesn't just see it's all. It is all. It knows it's all. Never forgot it was all. It created the instrument of mind for knowing the illusion of separation and difference. And we got so identified with that. We've sustained that illusion across countless lifetimes until we finally have gotten so weary, so sick, so finally seeing the pain of that illusion that we become seekers. to return. We become knowers. We become lovers. We walk it into the world for the benefit of all beings. That's our calling. To know and to serve. So we're going to be chanting for a few minutes now. And we'll be chanting the mantras, Om Kali Ma, Kali Namo Nama, and Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva and Shakti, Ma Kali is Shakti, the inseparable pair, the creators of all that is, who delight in their creation and delight in their unbroken unity. That's us. That's you. So we'll chant for a few minutes, and then we'll just sit in the stillness, in the silence, empowered to know and to walk that knowing, that loving knowing. Loving is knowing. The infinite knows you because it loves everything about you. Every cell, every atom springs from that love. Shrimati Kali Mahadevi Ki Jai. Om Kali Ma Kali Namo Kali Resting in the stillness, in the silence, the boundless spaciousness, the infinitude of being. Rest there. light of love. Kali Mahadevi ki jai. We end with this prayer. And may all our practices truly benefit everyone. And may all beings know complete freedom from suffering. Namaste. And with this prayer, called Tara's prayer, Tara, Tarama, the feminine face of Buddha, of the Infinite One. Many pains, one cause, many clouds, one sky, many egos, one self, many struggles, one release, many shadows, one light, many bonds, one freedom, many cloths, one weaver, many ages, one eternity, many passions, one love, many sufferers, one cry for compassion, patience, and love. Oh, beloved Tara, answering the cry, let us serve till all are free. To know and to serve. This is our calling. This is our privilege, having a human birth. What are we doing with this fine instrument, capable of knowing? Capable of walking the boundlessness of love, and patience, kindness, generosity into this world. To know that is to be suffused with that love, to be empowered to walk it into the world, to be empowered to relieve suffering. That's the true power, the power of love. So choose love, moment by moment. Choose love. Love has already chosen you. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for being ones who endeavored to know and to walk that knowing into your lives, your relationships, your work, everything. This is the highest calling. This is it. This is the call, the only call worth answering. So thank you. And thank you for the many ways you support Anamkara and what we endeavor to do to to give the highest practices and teachings, the eternal practices and teachings, to make them freely available. Thank you for your support, your donations, for sharing what we offer. And I look forward to seeing you again